I grew up in Coney Island, Brooklyn. 10 brothers, 5 sisters, 16 of us in one apartment. Everything was a competition in the house. Who could do the most push-ups, who could run the fastest. Fitness matters in the fire department because it's strenuous work. The elevators might be out, it's a fire. The fire is on the 30th floor. You gotta get up there and you still gotta do your job.
And that was firefighter Tyron Torres.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you, these videos, when you look back, I know they're going to look back years from now like, yeah, that's what your dad used to do.
He looks super cool.
Looking all salty.
Props to the guys who make it.
But that was the start of, that he's one of the ambassadors for the All Heroes Welcome campaign that we're kicking off. But with everything with the All Heroes Welcome campaign, we'll be all over the place. They will be on, bus stops,
kiosks,
radio, I've heard
newspapers,
kiosks,
social media, the whole nine, yeah.
Yep, and obviously we're sharing these stories because FDNY is now looking for the best and brightest individuals to come help us fulfill our ranks, right?
Yeah, and we're looking everywhere for them from any neighborhood, your neighborhood, all the neighborhoods that are out there. We want to get the best, the brightest, and every background to share the common goal of just saving life, property, everything that we do.
And Tyron Torres is a very incredible example of what we're looking for. I mean, obviously, he's excelled in the academy, and I'm sure he's going to excel in his career because he was the
Fitness Award winner in 2022 when he was still in Proby
so
school.
He's already starting at the top. He's already starting at the top. And, of course, with the leadership of Bobby Cefoli, who we had an interview. Well, I interviewed him, and it was incredible because he's also in charge. He's the captain of the fitness unit.
Yeah, I've interviewed him before. He's great.
Yeah, no, he's actually a fan favorite.
Yeah, he is.
You know what? Let's take a look at him.
All right.
We got Captain Bobby Cefoli here. Yep. How you doing, Bobby? Long time no see.
Yes, a lot is going on.
I think always a lot going on. I think you're one of our favorite guests because you've been here. This is what, the third or fourth time, or just the third time?
Yeah, third or fourth time. Yeah.
I think we're going to get you up to like 5, 6, 7.
Let's
8,
go.
Got
a lot of things to say.
Oh well, listen. You always have a lot of good gems that people will take and run with it their life right now, not necessarily just in the academy.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a good time for it.
All right. Tell us about a couple of things, especially the start of the summer. So what's been going on out there at the
Fire Academy?
The Fire Academy.
Yeah, Fire Academy,
also with the fitness units specifically.
So we have a lot going on. We have the new test coming out,
right?
Which is interesting because now we're gonna have this has been a long time coming. There's a lot of delays that we've had.
7 years.
The list has gone very much into the depths that we've never seen before.
Yep,
so it's an opportunity for people to really kind of gear up for this profession. And the first step is just enrolling for that written test. But that's a commitment. Right, it's a commitment to becoming a New York City firefighter, and that takes a lot of understanding about what that means and what you need to do physically to actually achieve this and get the job done. And one of the biggest things we introduced most recently, last 6 months to a year, is trauma release exercise.
Okay, trauma release exercise.
So TRE for short. We're one of the first agencies to be connected with TRE. Right. For training purposes, to be agency trained. It's like kind of a big deal in that world because we're able to reach out to them and use this method first on myself and my staff physically, and we tried it out and we understood that the pains that, for me personally, I would say I had a lot of lower back pain and tension in my body. It kind of started to help me get some relief. And it's an interesting technique. It's kind of weird, but we've had tons of workshops. The Proby classes are getting it now. The fire cadets are getting it now. So it's something that we're rolling into all across the job. We're going to probably put it into other areas like first line supervisor training, stuff like that down the road.
Absolutely.
But again, everything takes a little bit of time, and to grab on something new, we're firefighters. What do
how
are we? I know you're going to say,
right?
we
don't like change.
And we hate the way things are.
Yes, and 100%. We do not like change.
So it's hard,
and definitely complain
to
about how things are right now, right?
Yeah, and trauma release exercise helped me personally, physically, over the last year. I can attest to it right now, and it has a profound effect. I think we've touched about 1,000 people with it, have at least sampled one session with that, with us as providers.
Strong success rate, strong positive
Great
feedback.
And we're putting resources out there now. It's in the Proby School iPads, like the warm-ups and things that they can understand how to use the tool now. This is now a tool not only for recovery from trauma and stress, which is what active members or retired members can use it for. It's actually going to be a useful tool to help with recovery and open up the body and rebalance its nervous system so you can become that firefighter that we all dream about as kids. Like
Yeah.
what that firefighter looks like to me and you was probably similar.
Yeah.
It's that hero coming through the door, right? So how do you
100%.
become that person? You got to start reading your body better, putting in these little tasks, deep, slow breathing, foam rolling, zone 2 cardio. You have your strength training, you have your running programs that we can, we don't have to get into it on a podcast, but if you just do that, you'll start to read yourself better. You'll start to unravel a little bit of tension that you might be carrying, because a lot of young kids have back pain, they're sitting a lot, so we have to understand how to get this body to open up, so then it can make the progress you're looking for during the CPAT training, all those sessions and all the fitness awareness sessions and all the things that we have coming forward the next couple of years, so that when you come through the door, Proby School, you're ready to rock.
So a lot of things that I hear and that was mentioned is pretty much you have to focus on you first before you could able to take care of anything or anyone else around you. Simple thing, just like on the plane when they say, oh my gosh, the plane's going down, the air mask coming, who are you supposed to put on first?
Right.
It said you, because you can't help anyone else if you're not on oxygen. So the same thing, everything you're saying, take a moment. You're not being selfish. You're just trying to make sure you're building block, because obviously everyone coming behind you, family members, stuff, people you want to take care of, will depend on this. And that could be stressful as well. But I like the fact that we're even having the conversation and putting things in place to evolve. You gotta evolve. That's the only way to survive, right?
Life is not static.
No, not at all.
And we know as firefighters, we're living in a dynamic environment. The city's changing constantly. We're constantly being put into different situations that we're not used to. We have to adapt. And to be adaptable, you have to be balanced, and you have to be in your 3-foot circle. Just keep yourself in 3 feet. Don't worry about all this noise around you. Focus on your tasks, a little bit at a time, and you'll build progress.
So say you have another young civilian who never even thought about the fire department, but now is real curious, because we got the ads out, we're on iHeart, we're on the radio, we're on buses. So now they're like, you know what? There's a lot of things. I like the benefits, but I'm not sure if I can do it. I've never really been a heavy workout person. I'm kind of in shape, maybe a little pudgy.
Right.
What should I focus on? I always hit them with the legs and lungs, but what do you think?
Well, that's a good point. Take a walk. Start with a walk. Simple things, right? If you're not moving, start moving. Once you're moving, your body will respond. Nutrition-wise, what am I eating? Am I making good choices? We know the difference, and if you don't, there's a lot of information out there on what the healthy choices are and what you can do for your body. So move more, eat better, think about it, and then read the body. So every day you just work on a little bit, because it's a long process, right? This process could be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, right?
Right.
So don't think you're going to get to a finish line tomorrow. And that's where a lot of people fail. They set them up for failure by having goals set too high too quickly.
Right. They want the results right away.
Anyone can change their life. Anyone can change how much resiliency they have in their body. And it just becomes, hey, if I didn't walk ever and I started to walk and I walked 5 steps, that might be hard for me today.
Yeah.
But tomorrow I could do 10 steps, right?
Right.
So we build that resiliency in by doing the discipline daily.
Yep. It's the consistency.
And that's all it comes down to.
That is the hardest part about
discipline.
working out. Mm-hmm.
There is no hard part about working out.
Yeah, it's not it.
It's the hard part is creating a discipline in your life to block out and stay in your little 3-foot rule of I'm managing me.
Right.
And this is where I'm at. I can journal it. I can do all these other things. But again, if you're just making progress slowly and steadily, when you reach that day when you enter the academy and you get sworn in, you're not the same person that started.
Correct.
You're going to be the person that's ready to go, that wants to be the best firefighter ever and wants to prove themselves.
Right.
But it's taking steps and steps and steps and obstacles and challenges to get through that.
And it does something psychologically. It starts removing whatever doubts you had about if you can do it. Because once you start getting like a little progress, all right, you know what? Now I want a little bit more, a little bit more. Now you get a couple of little workout clothes.
You're
got
building
some new
that
sneakers.
person.
Yeah, 100%. You're
out.
building the person you wanted to be.
Exactly.
You know,
You're not going to be the same when you walk through the doors.
They always say the phrase, fake it till you make it. Well, now you're faking it till you become it. Like if you keep doing these steps, you're not gonna, you're gonna become this person you envision, and
you have to believe it.
You got to remove the doubt.
You got to believe it, and you got to make it. It's a calling, and it's a very important job, right?
Correct.
It's not normal.
Nope.
We're going out there, and we got to handle business and keep everybody safe. It starts with everybody's accountability to themselves and responsibility to maintain themselves physically to do that job. It's a physical job.
I love it.
That's what we got to do.
That was one of the most informative if not the best interview I've had thus far with Cefoli.
I mean, that's why like Cefoli does so well with these interviews. He's just a wealth of information.
Yeah, and he's always looking to improve, and the way he looks at all the generations.
Oh, yeah.
The ones before his and the ones after, how to get everyone better prepared for the academy. And it's not just, physical, it's mental too. It's heavy mental. It's more mental than physical, because if your mental's right, then the physical will go along to it, right?
And that's one of those kind of things that kind of matter for us, even though we've been on the job for so long, and then all the other membership we have here. Like the physical obviously matters because we have to go out there and do our job. But, in the in-between phase, we have to be like comfortable in our space because this is like our home, right?
Right, 100%.
All these people become our coworkers, our families, and everything like that. And this is where organizations like the FireFlag come in, especially here in June, where they get a little bit more recognition, right? Yes. So we interviewed some guys from FireFlag EMS. We had EMT Bonge and firefighter Felix. Yeah, great guys. And we gotta take a look at that. It's good stuff.
All right, let's go.
I'm joined with two members of FireFlag EMS. Introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Joseph Felix. I'm a firefighter, Engine 309.
I'm Dan Bonge. I'm an EMT with the fire department assigned to EMS Bureau of Training.
Great. So, as always, we like to ask our guests to kind of give a rundown on how you ended up on this job. So, go.
All my life, I was in civil service. So I started out as a lifeguard for a few years, got my EMT certification. I joined the fire department as an EMT, and then I joined the firefighter through the Open Competitive and became one there. So my life has always been civil service, and it's always my dream to join the fire department.
Great. Bonge?
So similar timeline with me, becoming initially certified in 2017, coming on this job in 2019, and being an EMT for 5 years for the fire department has definitely allowed me to explore my identity and grow as a character.
So stepping away from just the FireFlag itself, being on this job as a firefighter, as an EMT, obviously we cover a lot of events throughout the city. So how much access do you have to go to those events, cover those events, and kind of do our job for this community?
So every EMT and paramedic has the opportunity to work special events. Mm-hmm. And obviously June being a very, very busy month, that just means that there's that many more opportunities for you to work, not only special events in general, but special events geared towards Pride. Especially the Pride March. That's one of the biggest special events that we have in this city, secondary to obviously New Year's and all those other big ones. Mm-hmm. But it's a great opportunity because not only do you get to do your job that hopefully you love, and you get to celebrate who you are at the same time.
Being a firefighter or being in civil service, sometimes a blue-collar job can be perceived as not the most welcoming space for LGBTQ people. Right. Not necessarily might be the case, but it can be perceived that way. Whereas the FireFlag Association, it helps bring and meet that middle ground between identity and job. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to do our job. We're going to get our job done. But having some sort of camaraderie, finding people who are like you to relate on that level where we're operating in such high adrenaline conditions, it can be comforting.
I would agree with that statement, absolutely. Like he said, we're going to show up to work, we're going to do our jobs as best we can, and we're going to go home. Who we are and our identity has nothing to do with how we're going to do our job, but having the ability to talk to other people who are the same as you or similar in other ways and have experienced the same differences and anxiety that you may feel, it's good.
I think it's very big in being a firefighter and being an EMS is that downtime is when you bond with your coworkers, when you form that community. And it's very comforting to know that you can be in a place where your identity or your background won't interfere with that.
Sure.
And I think FireFlag helps bridge that gap.
So we talked about some of the events you hold, the philanthropy you guys do, but what about for like the members that you have? What is the benefit? Is that a good way to put it? I don't know.
So FireFlag has, I believe, paved the way for firefighters and EMS and blue-collar workers in general, where I believe people are stronger as a community, and FireFlag really helps bring those people together. We have members of all ranks and all positions, and knowing that and having those connections, it strengthens the bond between our members.
Sure. And what about like if a member or someone who potentially wants to be a member and they're not really ready to be out, like how do they approach you guys? Or how do they kind of go about it, I guess I should say?
So we follow a pretty much given policy that everybody is discreet unless they specify otherwise.
Okay.
So if they want to attend events and be social, we don't mention their name or put a picture up unless we have explicit permission.
Okay.
And if they want to further emphasize that they're discreet or they're not out of the closet yet, they can talk to us, and we will always honor that.
Well, I want to thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate your insight and letting us know about FireFlag EMS. Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Captain.
Excellent job on the interview.
Thank you. It was great interviewing them. The knowledge out there is great. I mean, whenever we bring in the affinity groups, it's nice to see that there is a home for pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
Actually, everybody, easily, right, on this job. So that's great.
No, that was very informative. And of course, I love the fact that you think you know of all the fraternities on the job. I mean, like, wait a second, so there's more than 10? I was like, yeah, there's almost 20.
Yeah.
And then when you really break down what each fraternal organization does and how they reach out to their members, it's very cool to see. It's very cool to see. And in case you missed it, I had an interview with Associate Commissioner Nafeesah Noonan, as we're speaking about All Heroes Welcome, because she's helped heading up the campaign for FDNY.
And we were
featuring... and we spoke to one of the ambassadors, Casey Chan.
Right.
Yeah, very fun spirit. Very, very, just loves life, loves the
she's
job.
wonderful. Yeah.
She's great. You want to take a look?
Let's do it.
All right.
We have chosen key, fairly new to the job firefighters that represent, the change that we're looking to see here in the department. When I say change, I'm talking specifically about opening it up to some of the underrepresented cultures here at the fire department. So these members have participated in a lot of our programming. They tell great stories about what inspired them to get on the job.
So what do you think, Casey? A young female firefighter, well, projective, maybe possibly thinking about getting on the job. What would you tell her?
There's a spot for us. There's a spot for anyone who's willing to put in the work. You gotta have heart, you gotta have grit, and you wanna be able to put in the time and the effort to do a good job and give back to your city.
An incredible interview, as always.
Yeah.
I love the energy of Casey Chan, and obviously Associate Commissioner Noonan is just a wealth of knowledge and always professional. But the excitement that sometimes you forget that you need to get on this job before you get on. You got to bring that energy.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, when you look at someone like Casey and then Firefighter Torres, I mean, they're just driven, and you have to be driven to do this job because it's not always going to be the easiest thing, right? Because that's what our job entails. Yeah. So it's great to see them represent the job so well.
100%, and they always bring a light of fun also, right? Because all work and not having any enjoyment in what you're doing, you're not going to do it for long.
Because then you're really working every day, right?
Right. So. Yeah, and it's not always the case where you work for FDNY, because we smile even when when it's 20 degrees outside. We're still smiling. We're still making it happen.
Yeah.
And
or in this case, it's like 120 degrees outside right now.
Yeah,
right?
and this is why we're looking for all the heroes we can. That's why all heroes are welcome.
All heroes
get
welcome.
That positivity from all walks of life.
Yeah.
I love it. That's why I love what we do.
It's a great time.
Listen, Randy, I'll see you soon. All right, pal?
All right, next month.
All right.